everybody. Welcome back to Rights for Vets. And I have my brother here, Rights for Vets.
What
Say
the
hello,
fuck?
brother.
Holy shit. How did I appear here?
I paid you, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But your
I
flag is
almost
bigger than my
remembered
flag.
today.
Well, yeah, we match flags, and yours is bigger than mine. Have more stripes in it, too. More stars.
Let me just, hang on a second here. I was waiting for it to show up in the bell so I can put it in the hangar's room there. It just appeared. Alright, going
Anyway,
from.
today, why he's, whatever he's doing,
Yeah, I'm doing a Rights for Vets thing, don't worry.
uh, we would like to talk to you about something, and I can't take the credit for this. This Mr. Do you want me to say your real name, or do you just want me to call you Mr. Bigger Flagger than mine?
Yes, Mr. Bigger Flagger, so I guess I can't take the credit either.
Well, you, you can help me out with this a little bit then. Anyway, Mr. Bigger Flagger than mine. Uh, uh, I can't believe this. Uh, like looking at double on me. This new green, this new green deal that everybody's been talking about. The Great Reset. The most important thing of the world is the fall's going to fall apart on us, and we're not going to have anybody left in 10 to 12 years from now. And oh my
You
God,
mean the one
everybody,
full of boogers?
that's the one. Yeah, yeah. You tell him. uh,
I
but
wrote it.
we've been up all night. Bless his heart. Anyway, I forgot where was that. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, this great reset. Yeah, the one that's going to scare the shit out of people. We're all going to die. You know, uh, my friend here, Mr. Big Flag, show off. Um, he had a great idea. He really did, and he's right about this. 100% right. So I'm going to leave this to him, since he's the one that thought about this. Mr. Big Flag, show off. You can show it off now.
Okay, I'm showing it. Now I want to hear your version of it. It's more fun this way.
Well, I'm half asleep, but okay, all right. I mean, I figure you're okay. If we all,
I trust you. Don't worry.
I don't trust myself right now. We are losing our food desperately. We got Bill Gates buying property off of farm areas. You have China buying farm areas. Uh, they're complaining about the air situation with methane, the fossil fuels, but they're not doing anything about it. Not really, other than taking your money. And they're doing that. They're doing a good job at that. Check your wallet. See how it feels nowadays. But my friend here had a good idea. If they were really serious about the new Green Deal, why don't they just plant one seed? One plant. Everybody. There's so many billion of people here. Just one plant. That would feed everybody. And if they planted one plant, why not plant two? Everybody. The food would be astronomical. You wouldn't
You
have to
mean
go
I
to the
have to
store.
learn how to count?
Yeah, they'd have to learn. Yeah, that's right. And to beat this, how about just planting a garden? Everybody. We'd have so much food we wouldn't have to rely on the government, the stores. The food would be healthier for you. And since you're doing that, instead of planting a tree, why not plant a tree, a fruit tree? Apples, plums, pears, cherry tree, grapes. If everybody did that, the government wouldn't have a prayer. We'd have enough food to feed everybody. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to tell you people that. You want to go from there, Guru? Oh.
Sure.
I am half asleep. I'm sorry. Go on.
That's okay. We're both coming off of a marathon sprint. That's all right. There's still one viewer. It's good. It might be Dan actually. I just put the there's two watching now. Okay. I just put a shout out in the Google Hangouts link there. But yeah, what my brother here, my twin that was born after me. I'm older than him. It's important. What he was trying to say was, food scarcity is it's an illusion, and it's a complete fraud and a fallacy. There's no such thing. And there's numerous ways to solve the illusion of it. It's very simple. Just on the sheer numbers alone, being that there's somewhere between 7.5 and 8 billion people alive as we speak. That's just a technical count. There's probably much more than that, but let's just go with that figure. And okay, this is figuratively speaking, but and pie in the sky, but just hypothetically. If everybody alive today were to just plant one food seed of any kind, just pick one spot anywhere and pick one type of food of any kind, of fruit or a vegetable, and went and planted it somewhere. In a very short period of time, that could potentially be 7.5 billion food plants growing from just one seed each. And now, okay, so of course that's not realistic. But if you only could get 1% of the population on par with something like that, that's much more realistic. That's still, I think, what is that, 750,000 or 750 million? I'm not sure which one it is. I think 750,000, I believe. 750,000. Okay, 750,000. That's just short of 1 million people. Let's just round it up to 1 million people. 1 million people planting a food seed, that's 1 million food plants all in one day, and that could do a lot for hunger problems. This idea stemmed from the idea of just the stuff that I focus on, talk about with self-sufficiency, and a little bit of an elaboration. If people were to just replace their, for example, their lawns in your typical towns and cities. Never mind all the acreages that are out there in the wilderness. Forget about that. Just put that all aside for a second. And if we just traded our lawns and backyards and replaced it with a garden that's growing food. If it was even just growing one plant, just one, that would be enough to solve hunger, poverty, hunger, scarcity. Now imagine just multiplying that effort by 2 or 3. I mean, sure, you could plant one seed a year, or maybe you could plant one seed a day, whatever floats your boat. But it would take very little effort with the amount of people to very quickly transform a small amount of land for a community, family, or a community, or a town, or even a city to be totally food self-sufficient in a very short period of time. Doesn't take much at all. So that's the basis behind that.
Not to mention your trees. Instead of planting oak trees, why not plant fruit trees?
Yeah, well, that's the ultimate idea. Of course, the preferred thing to do would be plant things that are not. I always mix these two up. Is it the perennials that just grow seasonal one year and then you got to replant them?
I don't know either. I don't know if it's perennial or it's annual. I don't, not quite
Yeah,
sure.
and I think it's the annual. That would make more sense. Annual, once a year. I think
Okay.
so. Let's just go with that.
Okay.
Um, the perennials is what you'd want to do because there's more bang for your buck, so to speak. And yeah, plant things that are going to be around for some generations after your time. You know, and you can mix it up, right? It doesn't have to be all of one thing. It could be a bunch of different things. It could be berry bushes, vines with grapes, all kinds of different things depending on your location or whatnot. But the whole point of the matter is to plant the seed of planting seeds. And if everybody just did a little bit of that, it wouldn't take very much for there to be an abundant amount of um, healthy wild food that was growing pretty much everywhere. It would be like everywhere you went was a kitchen, and that's the way that it should be, you know. And it wouldn't be this poisonous, contaminated crap that's GMO'd and frankenfood and full of chemicals and stuff that you buy in the corporate grocery store, you know. Imagine just going for a walk and everywhere you go, you just just like the rest of nature does. You just pick off of the vegetation that's there.
Just think of the carbon dioxide, excuse me, the trees would just absorb. Think of the food that you would have. You wouldn't have to worry about going to the store. You know, you get plums, pear trees, cherry trees, uh, apples, Macintosh, you name it. It's there. You know, if everybody would just grow a fruit tree, you wouldn't have to rely on government. You could tell them to kiss your, you know what. I mean, the government is not there to help you out. They could care less about you. They're there to take your money, and they're doing it. They really are. And you can see it right now, what's going on. They're not trying to solve the problem. They're trying to cause more problems. And it's ridiculous.
Some of these fruit trees I've seen are so massive. Um, like one, I seen an apple tree that it was so big now. You know, I don't know how old it was, but it was probably quite old. This thing produced enough apples to feed, uh, I don't know, at least probably about 50 to 100 families in a summer, you know, just the amount of apples that they would consume regularly type thing, you know, just one tree. So imagine just having like one tree like that every two or three properties spread out apart, you know, an apple tree here, a pear tree there, or whatever it is. That's all it would take to, you know, feed quite a lot of people in a short radius.
And what's going to come down on us this coming year, if we're going to be in trouble, big time trouble. Uh, if you can, start planting a tree or whatever you can do, if you have the room for it. If not, start a garden. Talk to your neighbors. Tell them what's going on because the government it will not help you out. Like Guru said before, the name United States is a corporation. It's a business to take money from you. They're not going to help you. Not at all. They could care less about you. They don't. They're just for themselves to make money, and they're doing it for themselves. You can see it.
Got some visitors in the chat. Say good morning and a quick shout out. We're coming off of a full evening of technical work. Was helping my brother here with some stuff. So good to see you folks. 5D, Graham, and Bobby. The squirrels always steal your apples and pears. That's why you're supposed to eat the squirrels first.
Believe it or not, they're good eating.
No, I'm kidding. Don't eat the squirrels. Just be quicker than they are.
Yeah.
You know, leave some acorns to distract them some. You know.
But it does make sense, though. If you plant a fruit tree, everybody does. I mean, it'd get rid of the problems, quite a bit of problems, with the air environment. You'd have food, have your own garden, and then nobody would starve. You can can them. Same for the wintertime. And it's fun growing a garden. Believe me, it is. To watch that grow and to see the vegetables just getting bigger and bigger. Carrots, cabbage, watermelon, green onions, radishes. Just don't do me a favor. Just don't put a tomato plant in a bucket. It doesn't work that way. Trust me. I tried that one. That didn't work.
Especially if you forget to poke holes in the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You know, they're crafty little plants and everything, but they're not meant to swim in the ocean. They drown pretty easily.
And it was doing it too.
Bobby
Yeah,
says Elvis was very Elvis was very fond of eating squirrels, apparently.
it was very fun. But no, seriously, it'd be something to really think about. I mean, if everybody planted fruit trees, our friend Frosty went to Peru, and that's all they have is nothing but food there. I mean, on the trees, all they do is get a bamboo stick, hit the tree on top, get coconuts, bananas, whatever they want. It's they don't starve. They don't starve at all over there.
But
We
why would
just,
we do such a thing when there's twerk videos to watch all day?
you're right. Now cancel that order, guys. But it would help the environment. You know, the government's not going to plant trees. They could care less about planting trees. All they want is your money. The G20 summit, the COP, G27 summit. I mean, it's all about power, control over us. And when they come up with that CBDC, what are you going to do then? Because they're going to stop you from a lot of things to buy. Too much milk, cancel. Too much meat, if you get meat. No, I'm sorry. Too much bugs to eat, cancel. This is what's going to happen to all of us. You can fight back, believe me, you can, without any violence to anything. Just get out of the grid.
To elaborate on that, the only actual meaningful, practical, and um, ethical even form of protest is to boycott and secede from corruption. That's the only way to do that. Every other form is a waste of time. It really is. And typically leads to unnecessary violence as well. And also inadvertently would confirm that your participation would make you yourself be the corruption. So this is the only logical, healthy, and rational solution when it comes to corruption, is to move your focus and attention away from the corruption and to do what you need to do to take care of things for yourself and nature and your family and so on and so forth. And this is the simple how-to method to do that and start foundationally. And it'd be very difficult for them to circumvent this, right? Because it's not like you can make planting seeds illegal or something. It'd be pretty hard pressed for them to try something like that. At that point, I think it would just be massive. People would love to go out and just in a gentle way stick the middle finger up to their oppressor by planting a nice hardy fruit tree wherever they go,
And the best way to hurt government is don't give them any of your money. So if you can rely on your own source of food, that's just less income for them. And that's the whole idea, is trying to get rid of their wallet. Oh, Eddie's
Right.
here too. 12B's here. Okay.
Yeah, we got a few early birds today. I was talking to my brother about this earlier today. My younger brother. Um, the blood of the beast is money, and to defeat the beast, you got to starve the beast in its three forms: the blood, the oxygen, and its food. Right? Cut off the oxygen, the blood, and its food. And none of these ways have to be violent whatsoever. You just have to secede from it. And so the blood is the participation and your avocation of money. And so if you learn how to secede yourself from the money matrix and learn how to operate in the free world, where nature provides everything the way that it's meant to, like it does for the rest of nature itself, you have no longer fueled the bloodline of your oppressor. You've now starved it. And that's really all that it takes, right? Just for people to do that. And not everybody's going to do that, at least overnight or whatnot. And I'm not suggesting that that's even the focus. Never think that way and don't wait for others. But even just one person doing that is one less individual that participates in the corruption itself and being the corruption, and is a showcase for anybody else who's looking for solutions for themselves to do the same.
We got to do something. I mean, we can't just sit on our hands and do nothing at all when the government's going to shit on us. And they're going to. I guess they passed a law. They're going to pass a law that anything you buy is worth $600. I guess they're going to give you like a tax for it, a tax form. I don't know if it's in works right now, but I heard it talking about it last night. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was on the computer here. I just seen the headlines on it. So keep your eyes on that. Again, they're not out to help you out at all. How you doing, Eddie?
Morning, Eddie.
Yeah, not too bad. Having a
Okay,
peach of a day. But
oh,
how are you guys?
okay, that's enough.
Wonderful.
So anyway, what we're talking doing good.
That's
Eddie.
my brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies, Eddie.
So
No, I was telling Eddie that's my brother. That's what
Oh,
he does.
oh.
Yeah.
We're twins, as you see.
Yeah, that's how we do that around here.
yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
So what's been going on with you, Eddie?
He's trying to figure out whose flag is bigger than who.
Well, that would be right. But anyway, yeah.
I agree.
It's like I'd rather say it privately, but it's been a peach of a day, as I say. So
Oh, I meant to tell you, Eddie. My flag says "Welcome aboard."
Mine says, "What the fuck are you doing here again?" Didn't you learn your lesson the last time?
Eddie, where you're at in Ireland, do you have a lot of trees there?
yeah, we have quite a few.
A lot of fruit trees or just regular trees?
Not so much fruit trees. I mean, we have a couple of orchards, all right, but like it's it's mainly like not normal everyday trees, you know.
And how are people dealing with the situation down there at your place? What's going on down there? Can you tell people?
Like how do you mean?
Government wise? Are they treating you okay?
No, don't know.
Are they taxing you to
As
death?
I say, we voted a vote of no confidence in our own government. So I
And
mean,
no,
clearly they don't care like about like our situation, you know.
so they're not hearing your voices either.
No,
Are the illegals coming in your place at all?
yeah, there is, yeah,
They are. Are they getting fed and clothed and housing?
yeah,
And is the government for this?
yeah,
Hmm. And then your taxes going high?
yeah,
Same thing like in America. Exactly the same scenario. So I'm
yeah,
telling you, this G summit that they go to, they all talk together. You know,
definitely.
they're
That's where
trying.
they go. That's where they go to get the directives from their paymasters for the next year.
Very
That's the
good.
agenda, right?
Very good. Yep. Very good. Do your people in Ireland, do they know about the CBDC? Some of them. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, I've been telling a few people, I'm sure they're like I only have a handful of people knowing about it, but I mean like that. I'm sure um it's gonna happen all around the world. It's not just gonna happen there.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to be happening in Ireland as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Are people listening to you when you talk to them, or did you just walk away like some of the people do here when I talk to them out in the streets?
Yeah, I mean, they don't. I mean, I can only say it to them, but like it's up to them if they want to, uh, like if they want to listen, you know.
Hmm. No, I understand. Yeah, me and Gru were talking about that. And Gru was right. You help those who want to be helped, and that's it. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
we got
Nigel.
somebody here, Nigel. Hello, Nigel.
Hey, Nigel, what's happening? The motto is teach the willing, ignore the ignorance, and
Yeah.
enjoy the freedom of responsibility.
Yeah.
Hmm.
People of
Oh,
Iron were
jeez.
told that their new currency would be digital, and they thought they'd have to buy bread with old Casio watches.
Yeah.
Collector's item now. Collector's
Well,
item now.
who said it again?
Like the Casio watches. They're
Casio
collector's
watches.
items. I like the Swatch.
Well, the way things are going, we're going to be selling more than that. Trust me. But
Yeah.
like Gru said, that'd be the best way if you tell everybody to start planting trees that have fruit in it, not just regular oak trees or any other tree, just fruit trees. Get a garden
Yeah.
going.
Here's another way to look at it. Um, planting a seed doesn't take much time. A few minutes, really, if you know what you're doing.
True.
And if you planted one seed a day yourself, you on your own after a year would have planted 365 food trees,
Bingo.
right? Or trees and food plants or whatnot, and that's going to feed a hell of a lot more than just you. And that's
Yeah.
just on your own in 1 year what you can do, you know.
And if you don't like your neighbor, just plant a tree there. Give them a
and
hit.
I
Make
have
sure,
on a few occasions.
make sure it's a prune tree though.
Yeah, there's about three. There's about three outside the door.
Yeah. Uh, not only did you shaft him with the tree, but wait till he takes that prune juice.
Yeah.
Voila. Sie gourmet test. Eh? Yeah, but it's important. No, I mean that's you don't hear you hear the grim of torture with these government people. They don't tell you what you should do other than give them money, and that's all it is. All these tragic that's going on around the world, and different countries get fined because they didn't do the right job for their new Green Deal. It's all a con job. It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
is. And these rich people are not hurting at all. They're raking in the money while you're getting poorer.
Every time they pass an act or statute and these things, what they're really doing is they're passing another tax. It's just another revenue source.
yeah. It's like the story I told you about the politician who went to heaven and hell. Like he was given a choice, and like the the choice that he chose was to to live in hell, and little did he realize that it's that it really was hell. In the end.
And that's what it's going to be here.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to be here.
The thing is, remember, it's a corporation, so they are just performing their function correctly. Their number one objective is profit.
Yeah.
So they're doing what they need, what they should be doing, right? It's this ideology that these people are supposed to be doing something that benefits the people is where the people are getting things wrong. And when you believe something that's not the reality, then you're setting yourself up to, find out the hard way. And that's really what's going on here. So really the crux of the matter is people coming to terms with accepting that, there isn't this some sort of obligation for another man to spoon feed me. Call it a
Yeah.
government, call it whatever you want. There is no obligation in nature for anybody to do that. It's your responsibility to feed yourself, to clothe yourself, to shelter yourself, and to know how to do that. And I don't mean in the corporate sense where get a job type of thing,
Yeah.
because nature doesn't function this way with this job mentality, that kind of crap. That's just a bunch of corporate bullshit. So, but if you don't think that way, to look elsewhere for solutions, and the only thing you want to focus on is to stay dependent on a system that is designed to keep you from thinking about solutions, then really you have nobody to blame but yourself. At some point you got to stop playing the victim, and you're not a victim if you keep going back to your oppressor begging for more, and that's really important for people to come to terms with. That being said, so what are the solutions and what are we supposed to do? Well, there's lots of options and lots of solutions. One of them is to grow your own food. It's all about learning how to become self-sufficient, self-reliant, and to alliance with others who have the same mindset and want to do the same thing.
Believe me, government is not the answer. Not at all. I thought it was. I was raised in the 50s, and I was indoctrinated as a kid. Pledge allegiance to the flag every morning. Watch them gun hole pictures, John Wayne, everything else. Do it for the country. Country's going to help you out. Graduated through high school, went in the military, worked my ass off. And when I needed help from the government shafted me. And I said, that's enough. What I went through, I wouldn't want anybody else to go through. It's going to be a crock of shit for you people out there, and you just don't realize it yet. If you don't wake up to the tyranny of government, believe me, these Republicans that are going into the House, they're not going to do a damn thing. They're going to make a dog and pony show out of it. He said, she said, doggone Democrats, damn Republicans, damn White House, Biden, blah, 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 blah. Nothing's done.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're eating high in a hog off of our tax dollars. And that's all it is. It's a ripoff. It's a mafia. You don't pay your bill, guess what? They're going to come to your house and take everything. Look at the IRS right now. 87,000 people they have armed IRSs. Why would they do that? Why would they even think about doing that? Because they don't give a damn about us.
Right? If there was truly some sort of a obligatory thing to contribute in some way to something, there would be no need for any force for you to do so. It's because there's no obligation that requires them to use force. And it takes your consent and obedience for that to continue. Even if it's under duress, it doesn't matter. But that's what it takes. Tyranny doesn't happen without your obedience and consent, under duress or not.
And the reason why they're allowing illegals to come in without being processed, due process, because they want chaos. You divide a country, it'll fall. It will not stand together. You can see it right now, people being raped, killed, hit across the head, run down by cars. And what do they do about it? They let the guy go into jail and come right back out. No prosecution whatsoever.
There's been many cases like that.
What's that?
There's been many cases like that.
Yeah, well, you probably got the same thing over there.
Yeah.
They have enough laws. They don't have to implement more laws. They have so much laws, they don't even know what they got. They got the most stupidest laws in the world. Spit on the damn ground, you get arrested. They can do anything to you, but they don't implement the laws they have. They don't need any more laws. They don't need any more money. My God, VA hospitals 2 years ago had over $190 billion. Now they want $230 billion. They need more money. For what? For something they don't do? It's a funneling. It's what it is, funnel. They're taking the money and they're just running with it. And they're doing the same thing with our taxes. $1 trillion. Where'd it go, people? Do you see anything different? Look at your neighborhood. Do you see anything different? No.
I gave you a meme for view in the basement queued up for you.
I'm sorry. Okay, you got it.
Just places that are run down, that's all it is.
Yeah, that's about right. Pro-life, pro-choice, and abort the government. I'm going to leave that up there so people can see that for a while. That's exactly what you got to do.
That's what Wrights was just depicting, right? It's the two ladies on the left there are caught up in the distractions. The narrative that gets the mainstream media and your government wants to get you to be divided over and this and that, fight over amongst yourselves and always come back to them to make the decisions for you and blah, 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 right? And totally dismiss the only sane option, which is this dude over here on the right.
I mean, if you can't see what's going on right now, I just don't know what to tell you, really. I mean, I can see it. And I've been indoctrinated heavy in the government. And I knew something was wrong, and I just couldn't pinpoint it. And Guru actually pointed it out for me, and he was right. He was absolutely right. You know, government doesn't have to do a damn thing for us, and they're not doing anything for us, other than taking our money. When I was a young kid, it only took one parent to have everything. You know, money in the bank, car, the insurance is free. Your medical insurance is free when you work for a company. If you got hurt, you walk in a hospital, they fixed you up, you sign your name, you walked out. There's no uh, charges at all. Nothing. Everything was free. But they made it a corporation in there too, in our medical field. We have to start sticking together, people. 2023, you're going to see the signs. You're going to see it hard. You don't think it's going to come to you? It will. Just like crime is coming right now.
That whole dependency way of life, even when it was a little bit better, back in the day, was all a bait and switch scam. It was to set people up to get dependent on that using slow boiling frog strategy to the point where people no longer remembered how to function without that dependency and then pull the rug from underneath their feet. That was the plan. And it worked. It's worked very well.
How many times you ever heard, we're going to do it for the democracy. We're going to do it for democracy. Yeah, okay, right. The freedom of the people. Mm-hmm. The only freedom I see is what the people in Congress has, the White House, the government workers. And
nobody with
Congress.
Nobody with a bit of intelligence would in their right friggin' mind want a democracy anyway. That's a lunacy system. A democracy is left and right rulers. Choose which one you want. Rulers. Who wants rulers? Why? Why do you want a ruler? That's absurd. Ruler is fancy word for a dictator.
So if you can, try to get off the grid, no matter how small it is. Do something for yourself. Save some money. Hide it. Whatever you can do. I don't know. I just, you people just don't realize, maybe a lot of you do, but some of you don't. But shit's going to hit the fan. I mean hard. And they're not playing no games, the government's now.
I'm winding up the diapers.
Well, it could probably be a Biden diaper on me.
It's like Bravo said Mitch McConnell, we love you long time.
Yeah,
Invest in Depends. I'm telling you, it's going through the roof.
Yeah, it's just, the election was rigged. There's no doubt about that. Twice, 2020 and 2022. They just do what they want to do. They break all kinds of laws and nobody's accountable for it. Does that sound like a real good, fair justice system to you? Well, they're eating the best stuff and you're paying it for them?
It's perfectly fair. It's just not one I'm going to participate in.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm done with it.
He who authors the legalities is not bound to the legalities. Think about that. If you're writing them, you get to write them. So you get to write them every second of the day. Of course you're not bound to them because you get to write them. You're the king of it.
Or as we say, some jerk behind an office cubicle,
Yeah, that's right. Nobody sees
making
those
our
numbers.
decisions.
Mm-hmm. They don't talk to their constituents anymore. The only time they talk to anybody is on the TV set. Vote for me. I'll do this. Vote for me. I lie like a son of a bitch.
It's not functional, even if they do. Again, this whole system of a democratic scenario here is lunacy. This idea of representation. Why would anybody want that? Why would you want to trade your actual true say in a society of some kind, your actual vote on issues and challenges, and trade that away for representation to somebody who gets to decide on your behalf, whatever they choose? And then on top of it, through the corporate model, be swayed and manipulated through money. From, it's just a lobbyist game. That's all. This is not a healthy function. It's lunacy.
And that when that
But you have to choose it. You have to choose it for it to be worth anything to them.
When that CBDC comes out, don't worry about it. You won't have no inflation problem. Trust me. They'll make sure of that. They start getting inflation, they'll start taking your money and put it in their pockets. Less spending that way, less inflation. They don't care. They're going to have the rule of your life. And if you have guns, if you have a gun, you will not get paid anything until you give up that gun, your gun rights. If you say something wrong to the government, go on.
They actually do care, but they care in favor of making sure that it happens, because that's really for their benefit, right?
Very good.
Sure, there was a few people telling me about this, like this new implemented fuel allowance coming in, and and there was a guy telling me, like, he checked it out, like, and he says like, I mean, like, when you're living in an apartment or like house or whatever, like like the gas runs out and there's no heating, like there's no central heating, and legally there's supposed to be a central heating, but here's the kicker, right? Like the guy was on injury benefit, and he he told me that he wasn't entitled to it. He wasn't entitled to the fuel allowance because he was on an injury benefit or illness benefit, and this is the, like, I mean, they put these things in and they implement them, but there's always that asterisk at the end of it. Do you get me?
It's always a catch.
Yeah, it's bait and switch 101. That's the corporate model. Hook, line, and sinker.
Fairly.
Well, I mean, the first thing that Joe Bite Me did was cut off the oil supply. Second thing he did was start going after the American people who were conservatives, Republican lovers. Not the Democrats. No. Freedom of speech was knocked off. Your internet. Look at Twitter right now with Elon Musk, what he's doing. I praise that guy. He's going to get a lot of slack from it, but he's doing it anyway. Whether he's doing it for himself.
He's going up against Tim Pool at the moment.
Yeah. So, I mean, they don't want you to talk at all, to have your freedom of speech. And that's going to be taken away, too, with your Second Amendment. There's no doubt about it in my mind. It's coming. I see it. Guru sees it. Gannon sees it. Frosty sees it. 12B sees it. If you can, start talking to other people out there. Tell them what's going on. If they don't want to listen, walk away. Find the people who do want to listen to you. Tell them they can get off the grid and be self-efficient. That's even better. at least grow a garden or something for the summertime. Can them up in the wintertime or spring, fall time. Put them away in the wintertime. You got to do something because you can't rely on government. When they can control your money, they can control anything. You don't want to be in that situation.
Form your own government. Be your own author. Govern yourself. That's the answer. Govern is just a Latin word for control. That's all it is. Control yourself. Have self-control. Understand morals. Operate within the fluidity of nature. Be at peace. It's really that simple. And the lack of responsibility for that will lead you time and time again to the alternative path of government, which is the opposite of self-government. If you're leaving yourself open to that, then somebody else is going to come in and fill that void, and you're going to be vulnerable to that, and that's exactly what's happening. You can only have one or the other. You're governing yourself, or somebody else is going to. Right?
This is true.
But if it's somebody else, it's never going to be in your best interest.
Well, they're treating us like children, and we're not children, we're adults.
I disagree. You've been absolutely acting like children, neglecting the self-governing. That's exactly why they treat people like children, because they've been acting like children. Grown-ups,
they're not treating them like cattle.
Right. And grown-ups don't ask for permission to do that which they're free to do from the get-go. Grown-ups don't ask for consent to be governed and and demand to be governed and ruled upon. Grown-ups don't do that. And vote for it, and beg for it, and plead for it, and pay for it. Grown-ups don't do that. Only imbecile children, ignorant children, who want to refuse to self-govern and take responsibility for themselves, need parents to do that for them.
Go on again, what are you saying?
They're not treating them like children, they're treating them like cattle.
For the slaughter. Well, that's something else that's coming up too. That what do they call that? Euthanasia? Euthanasia? Is that right?
Euthanasia?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, where they're going to kill people. They're doing it now in Canada. They got states now in here that are doing it now. For people who want to die, can't take it. People don't love them. So they got doctors that actually kill them. I bet you a lot of people didn't know about that either. Eventually what's going to happen, if the government puts your foot in the door, they're going to come in. So what they're doing right now, since they're passing these laws about killing people, eventually they're just going to kill you. That's it. Whether you're healthy or not, you go against the government, you're dead. That's it. Extermination, eradication. This is how bad the government's going to be. They want to thin out the herd. The less herd they have, the less they can control. And like Guru said, the robots are going to be something else coming up.
There's other wisdoms in the self-sufficiency thing that really need to be understood as well, that are very important. I've said it before, I guess I'll say it again. Russian roulette is a very stupid game to be playing in any sort, and if you're not having your hand and eyes in the whole procedure from start to finish into what you ingest, you're playing Russian roulette to quite a large degree, especially if what you're ingesting is in the hands of your oppressor, who you know, or at least should know, maybe you don't, but if you don't know, here's the truth. Has an agenda to eradicate most of the population with in the next 7 years or so. Down to not a very large number. The same people that you guys are talking about right now are the same people who are deciding and producing the food that's in the grocery stores that you're eating every day. You might want to think about that. The same people who decided the ingredients for those coof shots, let's put it that way, right? Same people. It's called the Food and Drug Administration. Food and Drug Administration. Think about this. One more time slowly. Food and Drug Administration. Administering. For a reason.
Bad enough that they caught fentanyl and it was inside coconuts. Enough to kill 50 million people in America. They showed it on TV yesterday. Guy was cracking those coconuts. You could just see the fentanyl just pouring out of there. A little girl in Texas. Little girl, 7 years old. Mom was in the kitchen. Girl went outside. She got nabbed and got killed an hour later. Found out it was a FedEx driver who did it. A FedEx driver. Just killed that little girl for no reason at all. If something happens to your family, which I hope it don't, it's the blood of the government's hands. They're the ones that are causing this shit. For not doing the laws like they should. And they're doing it again purposely. A 7-year-old girl, I just can't get over that. They caught the guy. I don't know what's going to happen to him yet, but they did catch him. I mean, killing is like nothing anymore to anybody. Oh, it's just a killing. What the hell? Walk away. Until it happens to you or your family. Then you come to realize, hey, there's something wrong with the government here. How come we're not being protected? They're not supposed to protect you. You're supposed to protect yourself. The government don't care about you anymore. That's why they're trying to get rid of the police.
I'm all for getting rid of the police.
I am too. They don't do nothing.
They do something, but not for us. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're just there to be trained how to beat somebody up, Get
yes.
money, tickets.
And bully people, yeah.
They're actually the front line for the Gestapo, and without that front line, the Gestapo wouldn't have a chance in doing anything. So I don't. It's only that front line there that I care about in any sense of sort of confrontation type thing. The rest is just a Muppet show that's meaningless. It has no bearing or effect in my life. But this little Gestapo line here that wears a uniform and walks around with a gun and a badge, yeah, those guys, they're the front runners of violence, and they need to be dealt with,
Yeah, these people in government, they just do what they want to do. No accountability for whatever they do. They have a lot of that too. No accountability.
Well, they're accountable to themselves.
Yeah.
Right? As they should be. And that's the problem with the sheeple who are looking to them as leaders, is they're lacking the self-accountability. So those leaders are leading them.
Mm-hmm. Right down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, at some point...
So you heard about the Gestapo agent then?
Which one?
Liar!
Fool me once, shame on me type of thing, right?
Yeah.
And this narrative of the government being a snake oil salesman it's a very old repeat movie. At some point, you got to stop blaming the government. when people continue to walk into the arms and embrace their oppressor, begging for it, right? Continuing to go back for more. If anything, the government's only giving the people exactly what they're begging for.
Makes you wonder.
That picture
It's
there
all,
on the
it's all a
screen,
good fun, mate, when someone lives an eye, you know?
that picture on the screen there says it all.
Yeah, it does.
You got the beggars on the left, and you got this nudie guy on the right.
I don't know. I think when 2023 hits, people are going to start realizing it. What's going to happen? Really, it's gonna, yeah. People are going to have to do something for themselves. They really are.
Yeah,
Because when, go on.
there is that point where, people are not going to sit down cross-legged and just starve, right? Some of them will, maybe, but most won't. Most are that's a great opportunity to introduce options for people. It's unfortunate that it has to come to that for people, where they wait till the last minute, where it's just they no longer can afford the luxury of TikTok and twerk videos all day long, because the loaf of bread isn't going to sustain them, and there's only 2 left in the grocery store. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is for a lot of people. And whatever it takes, right? It's just nature.
I seen a guy yesterday with the CVS. We had to get something over there for my wife, and we're at the register. And a guy come on up. He was in front of me. He bought 3 bags of stuff. It wasn't very much, like cocoa water and little chocolate, little odds and ends. It came out to $61. He had a bridge card, which is a welfare card. He didn't even know how to use the damn thing. The guy had to help him out. And he had no car. And I felt sorry for the guy. I went, wow, And all he had to do was walk another block. Well, 2 blocks, I should say. There was a big store there. Would have been a lot cheaper for him than go into a damn CVS store. A drugstore is what it is. But yet he chose to do that instead, because it was cold yesterday. But he spent $61 on nothing.
Jeez.
I mean, it was just pathetic. I looked at my wife looked at me and went, wow, that's a shame. Then he walked wherever you came back from. So, yeah. Oh, if this is right, too, people, I'm not sure about this. I'm going to check this out. If an illegal stays here for 2 years, they start getting your Social Security. They'll get paid for it if they live here more than 2 years. I want to find out about that. I heard about it. I don't know if it's true or not. But if you can check it out on Google and you can find it, send it to me. I'll send it out on YouTube if this is legit. But yeah, anybody who lives 2 years, all the illegals who live there for 2 years, will automatically get Social Security. Because next year, they're laying off 10,000 people on Amazon alone. And Biden came over here where I'm at in Detroit, at the GM Tech Center over here, showing everybody, telling everybody, oh, Detroit's going to come back. Well, I don't know if you see my latest picture of Detroit, what it looks like. The burning buildings, the abandoned buildings, empty lots, garbage all over the place. Yeah, Detroit's going to come back, all right. It's done. It's over with.
You realize, though, those so-called illegals are also being baited.
Baited? In what way? I don't understand.
Well, they're being baited by the same government to follow a narrative, and the people who are following that, they're in a state of dependency as well. You think the government's not going to pull the wool over their eyes too?
Oh, yeah.
Of course they are, right?
Coming.
So it doesn't matter.
There's a reason why they're paying them off right now. There is a
As
reason, and the only thing I can think of, they want them to become United States citizens automatically so they can vote.
that's not really the reason, because the votes are rigged. The real reason why they're doing that is to piss people off, to divide them. That's all.
Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah, absolutely it is. And it's worked. This guys, every country I hear, all these illegals problem.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the second most talked about thing when it comes to politics. They're flooding our country, our nation with illegals. Blah blah blah.
Well, there was a
First is
process.
taxes. Go ahead.
And here's the kicker, guys. Like people that are getting refugee status, like, are getting it instantly.
Okay. Sounds like an opportunity to go sign up to be a refugee in another country. Well, that's an option. Instead of complaining, we could just go do that. I mean, for me, I don't care. I don't need any of that shit. But right.
Yeah.
The system, in any regards, the corporate system has been designed to be fucked. So fuck it. Do whatever you're going to do. The only people who complain are the people who don't realize that and depend on it, and that's the maximum law. Let he who be deceived, right? The solution is just, once you realize it's all a scam, the only thing logical to do at that point is to stop not only participating in the scam, but just laugh at it and not worry about it, because it'll only affect you at that point if you still continue to be part of the scam. And that's what you need to understand, is that the whole entire shaboodle, top to bottom, is one big giant corporate scam. Everything about it is a scam, top to bottom. The whole thing. It's a facade. It's a scripted facade. It's an indoctrinated facade. And it takes you to give your breath of life to make it mean anything. And the only thing it's going to mean for you is a loss of breath when you do that. So it's not worth it. There's nothing in it for you. No matter what, these problems that they're doing is not really any problems. They're superficial, and they're created by design to divide people and distract people. It's really that simple. But there's nothing really problematic going on here. Nothing. People are just moving their feet from one place to another. Big deal. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way it should be. There should be no restrictions when it comes to that. But they want you to think. Well, we're using your tax money for that. Well, that's only if you're dumb enough to be paying for them to begin with, and if you are, what are you doing? Well, the government's going to come and kill me if I don't. Well, shoot them first. I mean, it's life or death, survival,
Kill or be killed.
Right. That's your first clue that none of it is legitimate then. Right? It's all a facade. It's a scam. But go ahead and vote.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, I mean, I know rights on myself. Like we were even taught in the army. We were saying, like, it's either kill or be killed. It's that simple.
There is an element of survival of the fittest in nature, right? But it's actually not cut and dry like that. In nature, it's more cooperative. It's more harmonious. It's more in balance.
Well, it's the same in business. Like, I mean, it's one narrative,
Yeah, business
Like,
totally is kill or be killed. Completely. That's the corporate model. Fuck you first before me. It's one or the other,
Yeah.
Yep. That's what it is too. No, we're going to see what happens in 2023. We'll see what
And
goes on.
and people
Well,
say I love.
little does the business mind know that there is actually vulnerable people out there that needs help.
Yeah, a lot of
You
people.
know.
It's going to get worse. People would have to stay home just to watch their valuables. They won't be able to leave anywhere. Somebody be casing their house.
I can help anybody who's willing to help themselves.
Well, you got my vote. I just got to tell it to the bank. You're willing, but the bank ain't.
Hey, since I'm your brother, do I get to sign your checks too?
Talk to my CEO. Gannon, talk to him, please.
He said just give him the blank checks.
Bounce. I'm telling you right now. I don't know. We'll find out what happens in 2023. That's all we can do. It's see what the people say. By that time, it's going to be too late for them. I'm telling you, it's going to be too late. They're going to be.
There's going to be a crossroads probably in 2023 where when certain things get implemented, it's going to be one way or the other. There's going to be a divide, perhaps on a global humanity scale that's unprecedented, that we may have never seen something like this before. It's literally going to be a very distinctive corporate sheep to free thinkers sheep. It's gonna where the rubber meets the road, and the men from the big boys are separated, really. Because that's what's coming to a head here. It's are you gonna where's your line that you're gonna draw for how far you're gonna take being fucked up the yin yang just for a few crumbs and benefits from your oppressor, right? That's what it's come to, and this year is going to be a big reality check when it comes to that, for sure.
They're trying to get rid of our heritage, our statues. We can't say anything. It's woke. It's misinformation. They're taking our money. We're seeing drugs coming in here like crazy, crime going up like crazy, trying to take our Second Amendment away, our Fourth Amendment, our Fifth Amendment, and they're just slapping it right in front of our faces, and we're not saying a word. Believe me, your Republicans are not going to do nothing. Believe me on this. There's going to be a big dog and pony show. If they would have done something, they could have done it on 2016 to 2018 when they had the House, Senate, and the White House, and they didn't do a thing.
That's food for thought. If they can take those things away, then they were never yours.
That's true.
And you don't need them. You don't want those anyway. And it's very important to understand this, because what you have by default supersedes any of those privileges by so much. They're unfathomably uncomparable. You don't need something that gives you permission to do something that which you have access to by default. Why would you need that? You don't need a piece of paper to tell you can eat when you're hungry. So that's all part of the scam. You see, that's all part of the bait thing. Get people to get so entangled and attached to this constitution thing and whatnot, so that they're falling for the distraction of it and keep going back to it and say, well, I have these rights, I have these, this and that. Well, how did you get those? Where did they come from? Would you have thought about something like that if you didn't go to corporate school? Doesn't matter. What happens if they say you can't eat on Sunday just because we said so? You don't have the right anymore. Does that mean you can't eat on Sunday all of a sudden? Of course you can. So it's all just a bunch of hogwash and fallacy fiction land. All of it. And you don't need it. You never did. You don't need any permission to go and eat when you're hungry. You don't need any permission to talk. Freedom is not a permission-based thing. It never was and never will be. And if you're waiting for freedom to become legal, you miss the point.
Animals are free. I don't see them getting arrested.
Right. And freedom and legal are the opposites. If you're legal to do something, that's synonymous for you have permission to do something. And if something is legal, if something is illegal without a license or an act or statute passed by the government, then what you're saying is that you're getting a license to do something illegal. Think about that.
They lied to us every way they could. There wasn't one constitution that was written up. There was two. One in 1776. The other one was 1871. Check it out. You'll see it. And the second constitution.
That could be, but it doesn't matter if there's 10.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying how crooked they are. That's all. It's just for the government is what it is. It's all fake.
Right. And they're always, there's always a narrative going on for your attention to focus on it, right? So that was probably the thing at that time.
Yep. Well, that's what they put into me when I was a kid. Constitution, Constitution, Constitution.
Right.
You have the right. You have the right. Bite me.
Have you ever?
Isn't there two laws? I'm not sure whether it's congressional law or it's constitutional law, and then you have federal law. Isn't it?
We got what?
There's different levels of legalities, and it just depends on
federal law.
If it's
state law, county law, city law.
Right, nationwide or citywide or countywide or whatever.
Yep.
What you're really saying, again, it's so important to be semantically accurate, calling things for what they are. What you're really what you're really talking about here is the word rule. Right? And it's important to start calling it for what it is, because once you start calling it for what it is, the cover front starts getting lifted off and people start thinking twice about it a little more. Rule. Why am I being ruled upon so much? Why do I need to be ruled upon at all? Wait a second. Nobody has the ability to rule and reign over myself as I don't to somebody else.
Well,
they don't want you to think they're rules. They want you to think they're acts, statutes, ordinances. What are some of the other ones? Laws. I don't know, there's like 10 or whatever. They're just synonyms. They're all the same thing. Fancy code words for rules.
And I'll tell you a good one. We have Congress to do the rules, but yet the president can do an executive order and bypass the rules. And then if Congress gets
rules are made to be broken.
Huh?
Rules are made to be broken.
Rules are a fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Rules are a made-up fiction. They're a fallacy. They're a man-made fiction. They only exist in the imagination of man.
Yeah.
Ask your dog what it thinks about your Constitution and how well that's working out for you. Right? Ask your dog about the ordinance of your local county or whatever, or the insects, right? When you say this is my property, okay, well, what about all the insects and the worms that are on there? You think they concur with that? And the blades of grass, do they think that, okay, I'm on rights for Rhett's property here? I'm growing here. Woohoo, we're in Rights' country. It's only in this diluted mind imagination of man where this exists. It's all just made up, And you have to be a buffoon to believe and buy into any of it. You really do. Never mind advocate for it. Oh, but we need a police force. We'd have chaos without it. We'd have chaos without these laws. No, you have chaos because of the fucking laws. Because people believe that, and they're not self-governing. They're putting that responsibility over to somebody else, and not only somebody else, but a criminal-minded psychopath. You know, that's why that's how you get chaos, right? And it's because things are free by default that possibility can happen, and that's what people are afraid of, right? Accepting that the default state of things is freedom or anarchy, if you will. That's a default state of nature, right? Because anarchy is a default. If I want to, I can kill you just because I feel like
Yeah.
it, and you can do the same, right? Sure, there's consequences of that, but I still can't. That doesn't negate that the default state of it is this way, you know?
Freedom is also choice.
It's the understanding of that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the lack of fear, right? When you let
Yeah.
go of fear and you just you just be at peace and content with how things are. That's freedom. When you're not in a insecure state, wanting to, and out of your insecurity, wanting to resolve irresolvable, where the true laws are. The only real laws are the laws of nature, and you can't regulate nature to change its laws. It doesn't work that way, you know. I put some quotes, memes for that, funny ones where some judges are like outlawing plants for growing too fast.
Yeah.
It's just getting ridiculous. These rules they're putting this to us, and it's bullshit. It's nothing. It's just they're saying we're putting it on paper. We're going to implement it. Well, we're supposed to be we the people. There's no such thing as we, unless they got a mouse in their pocket. It's us, individuals, to do what we want to do. If you want to go by the government, you go ahead.
That's right.
You know, you listen to them. Go on. But me, as an individual, screw them. I'm done with them. What they did to American people is just heinous. But if people want to believe in them, let them go.
If you're not stateless, you're part of the corruption. Think about this really closely. If you have any attachment to statism on any level, you are the corruption. Statement is also a synonym for personification. And personification means to personify or to create an avatar. It's a fiction. And when you identify as your personification, what you're doing is you have to look at the word literally. The word I, E-Y-E, dent. You're creating a dent into your eye, which is your third eye, ification, so that you can't see. That's what happens with personification because you're lying to yourself. You're living in a lie. You're not living in truth, which is you are just as you are. You're not a white person. You're not a black person. You're not a rights for vets. You're not a Bob. You're not an uncle. You're not a police officer. You're not any of these personifications. Those are all lies that people tell themselves. You're not an American. You're not a Canadian. You're not a Muslim. You're not an Indian. You're not any of those things. You're simply an energy being that's experiencing reality or life as it is in this version. That's it. That's the only truth.
It's like what I say about fate. It's an imprisonment for the contentment of the like of an imprisonment, you know.
And it is an imprisonment. You're right.
When you can't see, you're you're not free. You're in a prison, right?
Yeah.
Identification. When you identify with anything,
It's
you're
being
you're not
content
living.
with imprisonment. Like that's what faith is.
That's right. When you're identifying, you're living in contentment of falsity. And so you have accepted you settled for something less than the truth. That's just, so you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And
that's where procrastination comes in.
good luck functioning when you're in a state of dishonesty.
Yeah.
That's a dysfunctional foundation that's broken from the get-go. This is about fixing the lies, exposing the lies right to the core. And if you want to really understand freedom and be free, you have to start with completely de-indoctrinating yourself, which means completely being honest. You have to let go of everything that you think you know, because everything that you think you know was fed to you by your oppressor and your parents, who was fed to them by the same oppressor, right? Somebody wrote the book. Somebody's the author of that information.
It goes back to the line in a song, like it was like every generation blames the one before.
Oh, the blame game. Yeah, well, that's the big one, right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest part of the distraction thing. Blame the government. Blame the other generations. Blame your peers. Blame the tree. Blame anything but the absence of. Sorry, how did I put that again? The delegation of accountability outwards is the absence of self-accountability.
Well, people
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
What people got to do is start waking up. They got to wake up fast. They ain't got time. The time's getting short. They're gonna have to either shit or get off the pot. You know, either go for the government or just do their best to get out of the government. Be self-efficient as much as they possibly can.
I'm selling plungers on sale. You're gonna need them.
You're gonna be staying out of the pot, eh? A lot of shit in that pot.
Industrial grade plungers.
Wow. Do me a favor, both of you guys, put your link in there. If you guys ever get a chance, go see Guru and Gannon. He's one hell of a singer. Gannon is. And Guru, he's a hell of an activist. He tells you the truth. He doesn't lie. He doesn't bullshit. He's got something coming in the window in a while. Yeah. Yeah, put your addresses up to your links.
That means I have to shift over.
Want a plunger? I got a Guru special here.
That's how my bro takes care of me. He gives me a push when I need it.
Wait till you see that new bidet I got you. Yeah, put your link up there too, Gannon.
Yeah.
Okay. So the link that I'm putting is to the website of the pre-launch version of the project that I'm pursuing, which is called the Freedomist Project. So if folks haven't heard of the Freedomist Project yet, that link there will take you to the pre-launch site, and it'll give you all the details about it. It's quite an extensive project, which I'm very enthusiastic and excited about. It's been a work in progress for quite an extensive amount of time now. And the whole basis of it is really just to help educate and empower people, to show them that there's other options for solutions, to take responsibility and matters into their own hands, other than your typical corporate solutions to look for your government and your oppressor itself, for the solutions from your oppressor, which is lunacy, of course. So the project has real practical, down-to-earth solutions that pretty much anybody can do with a little bit of drive and initiative, to take baby steps all the way to a complete lifestyle change, and anything in between that they want to do, to help free themselves from the clutches of tyrannical government. And all the stuff in there that's going to be showcased in the project is not theoretical based stuff. It's stuff that I myself and many, many, many other people have done for quite a long time to do exactly that. Live by the path of self-determination instead of the path of dictation.
Yeah.
So there's a link in there, and I have I have a YouTube channel as well. Maybe I'll put that in there. But if anybody wants to get in touch, feel free to do so. You can find contact info in that link, and you can also find it on the About page of my channel, which I'll put in there in just a minute as well.
If Gruber can help you out, he will. If he can't, he'll tell you. He's not a bullshitter. He likes to help people out, if they want to be helped.
If I can't, I'll just send you to my brother for a paycheck.
Where's Frosty when I need him? Damn. Frosty holds all the money.
The beautiful part about it is, you know, a lot of people complicate things that aren't complicated and don't need to be complicated. You know, you got wind of just that one thing that you felt empowered by, because you saw how simple it was, broken down into just a small little seed of an idea, and how attainable it was. Even children can do that, you know. They can go out and just plant a seed or two a couple times a year. You know, it's really not hard, the solutions. But it does take some action, and that's the thing. And it should take some action. It should take some participation, and we should enjoy that process of being involved and connecting with the nature the way that we're meant to.
Exactly.
I think he's drifting. On a
What's
second.
that?
Oh, your back was about to play the bicycle.
No, I'm right here. I was just listening to my wife. My wife's making all kinds of noises in the background. Did you hear that? Oh. Anyway, yeah, it just you get together there. Please go to Guru's channel. Seriously, it's fantastic. What imagination this guy's got when it comes to his hub. Wow, amazing. and what he did to it, you know, the writing and everything else. And geez, I wish I had that talent. I do. It's amazing what you put on there. Be to your benefit to look around at his hub. It would be. He's got a lot of doors opening in there.
And we hand out free packs of cricket gum.
Well, damn, I'm signing up now then.
Right? Who doesn't want that?
Gannon, you sign up too. I'll take yours. I'll have 2 packs.
I have the pistachios anyway, so I'm all good.
I'm staying away from you then.
It's like that old sign from Blazing Saddles. Would you like to play chess or would you like to have sex?
Oh, have you talked to
No,
DJ?
thanks for that. I'll play chess.
Have you talked to DJ lately? Since the
Yeah,
last time we talked,
I was talking to her today for a bit. She
she
was
didn't jump out the window.
she's she's having she's having a few troubles today, but
Okay. Well, I just figured she might have jumped out the window after Cool Tools got a hold of her.
tell me about it. You got a hold of me as well. A knife. Get him.
You gotta. He's funny. That Cool Tools is something else. Wow. Unreal. Well, I don't know. I guess I got to show you guys something in the back room here. My daughter just sent this to me. I don't know what it is. She says to show it.
Mhm.
She wrote me a letter. I can't find it. What the heck? Bear with me here for a minute. I'm trying to figure where it's at here.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd it go? Did she write me a Gmail? Damn, I got so much stuff in here. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. How do I do this, though? Oh, I gotta go this way. I'm gonna have to go to the back room to do this, everybody. I'll just get things set up. Yeah, I do appreciate everybody showing up, though, today. Thank you. Like I said, it's been a long night, believe me. Guru and I did a lot of stuff. He helped me out quite a bit today. And we talked about a lot of stuff. And very interesting, very interesting. Believe me, he's not a man of few words if you ask him something. If he can help you out, he definitely will. There's no doubt about it. He definitely woke up my eyes, I'll tell you that now. How am I going to do this? You guys want to talk for a minute while I do this for a minute? I can't walk at the same time here.
Me too. I'm multitasking.
Are you really?
Yeah, that's okay though. I have been the whole time.
How could you do that? I can't do that.
Yeah, it's never been my forte either, but I've gotten a little better at it.
Shoot. This is. I forget how to do this doggone thing. I think it's this way. Yep, I was right then. Okay. You know who else is good at that? DJ. She can do that. She can talk or walk and still know what she's doing. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. You just watch her when she's on YouTube. She's all over the place in that thing. She keeps an eye on everything. And types at the same time. She's good. All right, let's see what's going on here.
I'm better at straight focus for sure.
Okay, hold on here. Got that. I'm not sure what this is. If anybody wants to come up and watch this, they're more than welcome. Honestly, it's like I said, my daughter just sent this to me. So I have no idea what it is. She said watch it, so something's going on here. So if everybody wants to come up here, they're more than welcome. That we know. I'll wait about a minute so you guys can come on up here if anyone wants to come up here. If not, we're going to go in the back room, and I appreciate everybody being here. I thank you. Guru, you got anything to say?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it this time. Thank you to my brother, Eddie. Always a pleasure. Everybody in chat, good to see you. I'm a little bit on the tired side. As Wright said, we've been up all night, but I'm pretty excited. There's quite a few things that are nearing completion during this pre-launch phase that are going to be rolled out very quickly. I'm excited about that. And now more than ever, I'm seeing people opening up and getting enlightened to the solution-based focus. So I hope you guys are enthusiastic about that and wanting to participate. And if you are, the door's wide open. Feel free. Other than that, we'll see you on the next one.
And we got Gannon here. He's a good singer, plays guitar. Go please visit him. He's hilarious. Gannon, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, just like it's always a pleasure being here, and I greatly appreciate like what you guys are doing. So it's a good night from me, and it's a good night from him, and it's a good night from the other fella. So,
You go to hell.
What's that shirt say? I can't see it. Champion what?
something champions.
Hold on. See what he's got here.
Was the Patriots?
Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, what the hell do you think? You see that Patriot thing? You talking to me?
Well, somebody woke up on the right side of the bed.
That wasn't very nice of you, 12B.
That's right.
I just got all my shit done today. Just smoked a joint and I'm making coffee, so I'm straight.
Well, we haven't went to bed yet.
No, you guys been up all morning, all day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good God, dude.
yeah, sure have.
Whew.
You know Guru, man. He just doesn't let you go, you know.
Yeah, I had to sleep for like 3 or 4 hours. I fell asleep at like, I think, probably after 5 and woke up at 9.
Yeah, go ahead and keep blaming it on my brother.
Man,
All right, everybody. We do appreciate it.
Another
You wanna
cold,
say-
rainy day today, man.
That's all you got to say?
Oh, it's been raining here for 2 days.
That was the whole show.
That was
Hey,
the whole
what do you-
show.
What are you doing? You're jumping off, right?
Yeah, we're going to go back. My daughter gave me something here. I got to find out what it is.
Okay.
She said watch it, a video.
Yeah.
So we're going to go
Well,
backstage and watch the video. I don't know what it is, so I don't know if it's any good or not. But
This was the pre-show for 12B. The three of us are going backstage, but go ahead and put him on front center there.
okay. All right.
I got my stress ball going here.
Show 'em. There you go.
I'm even gonna take a puff off my friggin' inhaler. Friggin' talking to me.
He's going to be just fine. You'll have a bunch
yeah, I'm
of
good
clicks
to
and
go,
views
yeah.
and subs. No
Oh,
problem.
my God. He stole the show on me.
Sorry.
Yeah, wow. You're fired, 12B.
Okay.
Anyway, before we take off, is there anything else you want to say? While you squeeze your balls? That's it.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. Everybody, I'll catch you later on. And like I always say, you always come back now, yeah? I appreciate it. Be good, everybody. Thank you. And I'll catch you in a while as soon as I can shut this thing off. I'm laughing so hard I can't even shut this thing off. See you in a while, everybody.
Go blow yourselves.